Hello, welcome to another edition of Turf Talk, Belmont Stakes Weeks. I'm James Scully, joined by Vance Hanson. And before we get to the Belmont Stakes Festival, talk about Arrogate, the world's best racehorse. News broke yesterday, Vance, that Bob Baffert said he will run him in San Diego at the beginning, early in the meet, July 22nd, then point to the Pacific Classic in August 19th, and then the Breeders' Cup Classic at Del Mar in early November. Any thoughts about the Arrogate news?
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised he's not training straight up to the Pacific Classic. It certainly seems within his scope to run 1.25 miles right off a long layoff like that. But it is kind of nice for the folks at San Diego and the folks at Del Mar to get a chance to see him twice. And it is a handicap, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how much weight they're going to be asking him to carry. You know, in my opinion, he's the kind of horse that you probably should plop at least 130 pounds on, but
no chance.
No chance. Knowing the racing officials of today, they're certainly not going to do that. They're going to maybe put 124 pounds on him, 126 tops, and then work their way backwards. You know, make sure the spread is, you know, much larger for the other horses, but of course, how many jockeys are going to make that kind of low weight? It's just not going to happen. But getting back to the main point, seeing Arrogate at least 3 more times the remainder of the year is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that San Diego is a mile and a 16th, and you know, so it's a shorter distance as the next two. He's won 7 in a row since dropping his debut in April. I think the last 3 races earned more than $16 million. The Breeders' Cup Classic, Pegasus, and Dubai World Cup. So I'll put you on the spot. Any chance that if Arrogate has 3 more starts this year, any chance he loses any of those?
Oh yeah, you can't say for sure, you know, that he's going to sweep all before him, but I mean, he's certainly, I would say, has got an 80-85% chance of sweeping all 3 for sure. And yeah, I haven't seen anybody in the 3-year-old ranks who I think is going to step up and compete with him on the square, nor even another older horse. I mean, we have horses like Shaman Ghost and stuff, but they've already been well beaten by him. So yeah, I would peg it at 80 to 90% if he's 100% healthy.
Yeah, and you know, Gunrunner may have had a chance if it had been a fast track in Dubai, because he was just that's the one liability he has. He's, you know, pretty much confirmed for a late runner. He does have good tactical speed, but he could find himself with too much work to do theoretically. But I agree with you, 80 to 85% is a fair estimate. We'll move on to the Belmont Stakes Festival. It starts Thursday, 18 stakes races over 3 days, 3 on Thursday, 5 on Friday, including the True North with Whitmore, arguably the best sprinter in America, and then 10 big stakes on Saturday worth almost $6.5 million. And I was going to, Vance, what do you think about these big stakes days? Are you a fan of them?
I've grown to like them just because, you know, it attracts, you know, the very best horses in the country on major race days. Fans love them. The handle is through the roof most of the time. On the flip side, you know, I kind of like seeing, you know, at least one major stakes every weekend, particularly at tracks like Belmont Park, and sometimes we're just not used to seeing that much anymore. I mean, there will be weekends now at Belmont Park, just to use them as an example, where the feature will be like a Grade 3 sprint for fillies and mares or a Grade 2. It's a far different sport than what you and I grew up with, seeing major Grade 1 races, at least one every weekend, and it's just a change of culture in American racing today. I miss the old culture obviously, but you got to adapt to the times, and this is what the racetrack marketers feel like is the best way to move forward, so you accept it and move on.
Yeah, I agree with that take. I mean, you know, obviously Memorial Day lost some of those stakes like the Met Mile, and, you know, even races like the Acorn would either be a week or 2 before or after the Belmont. So, you know, there is something about those weekends, but that's the way the sport's gone, and it's a good chance, you know, horse racing to showcase itself and still play to a bigger than normal audience, and I don't have any problem with them either. Do you have any initial thoughts about the upcoming weekend races?
Obviously, there's certainly some horses that we're anxiously looking forward to seeing. Songbird, of course, in her season debut in the Ogden Phipps. The field for that was just drawn not too long ago this afternoon, and looks like she's going to be an overwhelming favorite in that particular race. Manhattan is coming up to be a terrific grass race at 1.25 miles. Abel Tasman, the Kentucky Oaks winner, is coming back and going to try and solidify her position currently at the top of the 3-year-old filly standings in the Acorn. And like you mentioned, Whitmore in the True North on Friday. So lots of great action all weekend long. Going to be great betting races, I presume, especially that pick 6 at Belmont on Saturday. So yeah, top to bottom, it's going to be a terrific card.
All right, yeah, we'll be back later this week with an On Point. Our colleague Ed DeRosa is up at the Belmont. We'll be shooting some videos as well, and look forward to talking about those races. I mean, 13 for the Belmont, I think it should be a good betting race, and excited to talk about those as well. So we'll be back later this week, and thanks for joining us for Turf Talk.